Hello everyone and welcome to another custom figure showcase, and we have another Dalek custom today, and this is a destroyed or partially destroyed / battle damaged Dalek as seen on the cover of the Big Finish Dalek Universe 2 anthology story, The Trojan Dalek. Now, as I said, this particular one appears on the cover on the right hand side, but there is some variation of Daleks in this story, most notably, like I said, on the left hand side of the cover there is one that's got a destroyed dome, but I decided to go with this one because it was just a bit more intact and a bit more easy to do. The destroyed dome one would have been good, but those who have taken apart a Dalek figure will know that obviously the interior of the dome has the rod inside that fixes the head to the rest of the body. So it would have been not impossible but difficult to do that, so I decided to go with this one. Now overall, this particular figure started out life as a sound effects Planet or Genesis Dalek, I've lost track, which again I bought many years ago. I think I bought it and it wasn't functioning, because this is, or was, the last surviving, or barely surviving I should say, of my original Asylum Daleks I made. This was the one that I put in the little Asylum diorama, but over the years you know, I'd taken it apart and used it for different parts and things like that, so eventually the spares ended up just sitting in the bottom of a box. So I decided that I would every now and again go through my boxes of spares and I try and cobble together different things. And this particular time I was going through my boxes of Daleks and I managed to cobble together the parts to put this particular Dalek together. So as I said, overall the basis of it is a Planet Dalek. Then the slats are from a newer Imperial Dalek. And then the dome, I think, is possibly from a Gold Day Dalek, as is the eye stalk. And obviously, as I said, quite a sort of smashed together of parts there, but as you can see, it's been extensively modified here and there. So overall, I've given it obviously a repaint into the sort of death colour scheme, because obviously that's how they appear in the story. But as it goes round, I'm going to try and just talk this over. You'll have to try and see the details as it comes round. But overall, on the skirt section, obviously I've added in, as you can see as it comes around here on the front, I've redone some of the hemispheres that I took off previously when I did this, and then also on the front panel you can see it's got a bit of lining where I've tried to make it look as if it's sort of been welded back together. On the midsection, as I said, I've got some the newer slats on there again, which I've taken a chunk out of just to make it again look a bit like it does on the cover. And the reason for having the larger slats is that, again, it just looks a bit closer to what's seen on the cover than the standard classic slats that it has as well. On the plunger arm, which I'll come back to in a moment, gun box, it's sort of again got a bit of milliput around the edge to make it look welded. The plunger arm itself has been replaced by this 3D printed version. This was actually something of a failed print for another project, but the kind of area where it's failed around the sort of cowling where it's sort of become ridged actually adds to the kind of half destroyed, half repaired look, which has worked quite well. Then on the front, obviously I've added on the four little rivets, and then the front rim, as I don't know what else to call it, I've cut away and then I've sculpted on, re-sculpted on a new rim that's obviously got a break in it, as you can see, which again makes it look like it's sort of a bit more broken and busted up. The neck rings are actually just your standard neck rings. There's nothing that's really different about those, except, again, as it comes around you can see I've actually cut out some areas on these, and then all I've done is do the cutout area. I've then just put on some milliput around the area that's been cut out to smooth it over and make it look like the kind of you know, worn metal underneath that's come out. And then on the dome, the cutout section to the if it's facing you left of the eye stalk, or as it comes round now you can see it will be on the right of the eye stalk when viewed from behind. What that actually is I've added on a little bit of milliput just over the top, and I've then sculpted out the cut off section. So the bit of bare metal that you can see that's painted slightly darker is actually the standard dome, and I've then just built up a layer of Milliput to make it look like it's sort of double layered. It's not perfect, you can see a little bit of join work, but I think it has worked. It still has worked quite well, and it's definitely a fun one to do. I do like a good battle damage Dalek. You know, I've done many of those Asylum Daleks in the past, and occasionally I do sort of have people asking if I'm ever going to do more Asylum Daleks, but I don't think I will, just purely because I do prefer to keep my Daleks intact, you know, as much as I can. But you know, when I've got sort of boxes of spares and things like that, it's nice to have these sorts of little projects to come up with. And I definitely think this is one that's going to be, you know, these particular destroyed Daleks, I think, are definitely going to be ones that people are going to do as and when and if the History of the Daleks sets get to the Death to the Daleks series. But yeah, it's worked together really well, really pleased with it, and you know, as I said, it's a nice use of spares that would have otherwise sat in the bottom of a box for ages. But that brings to a close another custom figure showcase. As always, I hope you'll enjoy this video. Like, subscribe, share, it really helps me out a lot, and be sure to description below for a link to my Patreon. We're doing my very first figure animation, and you can get involved. There's exclusive content and rewards for those who do so, and funding my Patreon in any way gets your name at the end of my videos. I salute you all, and I will see you with another video very soon.